Alex's Greyhound story part two. And so again, I left at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking like things are gonna be cool. I'm gonna rest. Boom, layover, taken to a state. I didn't ask to go. Why am I in Omaha, Nebraska? Sleeping in the side of the room, bright lights. I'm like in a prison, dirty everywhere. Just people like, and then just all the mishaps. Like people make mistakes at the counter, and you got the can't even look in the eye. It's like you think, wow, these people hate their job, but it's like us versus them or something. Like, whoa, hey, I'm not trying to make anybody's life any more complicated. I'm just simply a paying customer. I'm sorry if I'm in a fucking depot that smells like piss. Greyhound doesn't have the right, nor its employees, to treat the rest of us like scum. That's bullshit. And these videos are going to Greyhound headquarters. I mean, what do you think you're doing? You think you could just what are you going to start doing? I heard about people being routed to Texas that were trying to go west. You're routing them to other places. It's like you're in the prison industrial complex business. I wonder if Greyhound has deals with FEMA. Oh, that's probably a really bad joke. Wow. Rerouted to states people didn't ask to go, and then the attitude you get from people at the desk, and of course, going on days and days and days without sleep, combined with that attitude you get, combined with overcrowding conditions, prison-like conditions, and you want to ask me for $2.25 for one of your piece of crap corn syrup friggin' oh my god, $2.25. You can't do better than that. I mean, if you're gonna feed us poison, I mean, but really, do you really have to rub it in their face? You got these Greyhound stations. I'm looking around, going, dude, where's the closest store? There's a vending machine over there. The zombies point me to your fucking vending machine. And see, by the way, yeah, Kansas City Greyhound, you have a loud, violent, murderous zombie movie, Bloody Dawn of the Dead going on. I swear to God, folks, 90% of the heads were looking straight at the monitor. They were just, oh my God. And there was a few moments where I stopped and I'm looking, I'm scanning. This is like right as I'm getting ready to leave Kansas City. I'm like, all these people are watching this zombie film. They're not even choosing to turn their head away. They're all just mesmerized. And then I'm looking around, scanning, and there she is. I got music in my head. She's looking at me. She knows exactly what I'm doing. Why? Because that young lady was scanning too. And we met each other in the madness. And that's the beauty of life. And nothing more needs to be said. You just know. Wow. Another day in the zombie apocalypse, which isn't a metaphor for something out there happening. It's a metaphor for something right now happening. The level of consciousness that's out there. It is a metaphor for potential starvation situation, but it's really an ongoing thing. And we don't want to become infected with the mind virus. You see the mind virus and the evidence of it in Greyhound and the dark alleys of America and the world, which is why sometimes I think some of us that are on certain paths, we're in some of these nitty gritty areas where others are going, why would you do that? We just want to know. We want to know sometimes how dark it really goes. We want to understand the human condition. We want to know how we get out of this mess. We want to share this information with others. And when you go down into these realms where people are homeless and they're destitute, you get to see what attitudes are really like. Oh, things got better, folks. Hey, let's not get too serious because things just went to a hysterical level at other points in the trip. Again, lots of layovers, sometimes hanging out for an hour. I mean, I don't know where to end this video and I don't know where to begin. Should I talk about the 20 times they stopped at McDonald's? Would that be an approach? And then they all rushed in like a mob, the Greyhound riders, just and I went in and I used the internet, you know, maybe mentioned something about coming to Portland. But yeah, we were dealing with some very crowded conditions. And oh, I'm not perfect. I went to Wendy's. I was hungry. I was hungry. Sacrifice when you're on the road. And I tell you what, the road dirties one up. You know, they ought to have some healthier options for the truckers of America. You know, healthier things at the truck stop. Seriously, this $2.50 jerky, like get the fuck out of here. Seriously, the shit that's being sold and consumed, and then even for your M&Ms at dollar, get the fuck out of here. Seriously, fuck you. There's like enough local resources for people to make and sell their own food. Local business is where it's at. That's the focus. That's what I want to promote here in Portland. When I make those alliances, when I make those friendships, whether they pay me or not, local business is what people need to focus on. Local currencies. It doesn't mean that the global realities don't deserve our attention, but in response to the knowledge that we accrue, we know what we can affect locally and how important that is. That there are solution based things that we can touch that are tangible that have nothing to do with internet activity. And so I try not to limit myself. But back to Greyhound. Let's keep it on Greyhound. I see how people limit themselves and live in these boxes, and I just see through these experiences. I see the trance, and then I see those that break through the trance, and we find each other. You know, and in this adventure, the beauty was those of us that banded together. We banded together. We became friends. We we knew each other. We watched each other's stuff. I had people watch my stuff. They had the ear pack while I walked around downtown Denver. I made it a positive thing instead of a negative thing. And I filmed and I talked to people in downtown Denver. It's a short video. It's going to be coming up later on the channel. And I enjoyed the 6 hours, to be honest with you. So it had its ups and its downs. But the attitude from Greyhound when I got to Boise, Idaho was outrageous. And that is why this video has to be made. The behavior that I saw in Boise, Idaho was outrageous, and we're going to talk about that in part three. In part three, we'll talk about that now that we've gone into all this other stuff. Treating people like criminals, busting people around the country, what the fuck? Rude staff, the way they almost throw the tickets back at you, really short tempers. We're going to get more into that. Dirty conditions. Seriously. Drivers that talk down to the riders. If you do this, this will happen to you. You know, the horrible choices to take people to McDonald's over and over and over again. The violent things you put on the telephone, $2.25 for a soda. I can go on and on and on. Thank God I don't have lost baggage. And those little seats, you put those big people at 300 pounds next to people that they literally could crush. I've literally had hands and legs all over me. You can't have, with all your police state and biometrics and computer data, you can't make sure there's enough room. You can't just put someone that's 350 pounds in your seat that was designed for a middle schooler. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Part three, Alex's trip on Greyhound, coming up after this. Stay tuned. Get yourself something to drink. This is going to be crazy. You'll see.